The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Why don't we just wait here for a little while, see what happens?
Do you want to die, Sidney?
For England, James? No.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
Look what you did to him!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
As you can see, I am here.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I am Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew. And today we are going to be reviewing Double Impact, Jean Claude Van Damme. I don't even know why I always say it that way. I just could be an asshole. Jean Claude Van Damme, Double Impact, released in 1991 and directed by, was it Sheldon Lettich?
Sheldon Lettich. Yep.
Sheldon Lettich, who wrote Bloodsport, also directed Lionheart.
Yep.
I think this was written by him as well. This was written by him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty prolific action director. He did quite a few other things. I don't have my notes in front of me, but like he's worked with a lot of people.
Just real quick, some stats, I guess, before we get into our review. This came out August 9th, 1991 to be exact, and $15 million to $16 million estimated budget. Just going off my notes here, and box office raked in 30.1, so just a little over double, or basically. So notable actors in this that stood out. Bolo Young, I guess.
Yeah, Jeffrey Lewis, who was in a lot of Clint Eastwood
Jeffrey Lewis.
movies.
Yeah, he was Frank.
Yeah, good to see him playing a good guy.
Yeah. Other than that, not a lot of big names. Just Jean-Claude. So I guess let's go ahead and get in to the review portion of this. Or do you want to talk about the plot? Let's talk about the plot that we don't even really know what.
Yeah.
I know what it is, but it's
my wife, when we watched this a few nights ago, she goes, "What was the point of all that?" And I'm like, "Well, I think it's this. Let me ask Brandon. Hey, what was the point of all that?"
Yeah,
well,
and Brandon's like, I don't know.
I'm like, well, I think it was this. Oh, that sounds good.
To kill bad guys. Okay, so basically these twins, Chad, which is in this day and age funny just to say. And maybe 1991 Chad was okay, but like now it's like Chad.
And the way he dresses in this movie, he's such a Chad.
Oh, for sure, total Chad. Alex is his twin brother. They call him the evil twin in the synopsis, but he's not really like an evil guy. He just does bad shit. He's just like he smuggles and does
swindles
and shit like that. Got him a hot girlfriend in Hong Kong. So when they were little bitty babies, they're like 6 months old, their parents were killed. And Frank, the guy Jeffrey Lewis, he basically saves one of them, the maid or whatever, the help, saves the other, and that's how they end up split. And he goes off to LA or whatever. So the reason there's a hit, they were killed by a hit squad.
Yeah, it's the Japanese triads and his business associate.
Yeah, the business associate basically had him killed because they were building this tunnel, and they had to get financial help, I guess, from this partner. And when the tunnel was done, they realized they didn't need him anymore. They wanted to take it for themselves, and then they had the parents whacked. Well, I don't know why. I guess I didn't pay enough of attention. What I don't understand what the tunnel is. This tunnel full of gold? I don't understand what.
It was the tunnel to Hong Kong, right? So
I think so.
There would be a
Yeah.
lot of traffic through there and everything. And I don't know if it was this guy ended up getting control of that company that, you know, contracted out jobs like this tunnel. And so that was the whole thing. Uncle Frank just wanted them to be heirs to what was rightfully theirs.
Yeah.
Is how I took it. So
Yeah, that's pretty much basically what Frank wanted to. Frank finds out that Alex is living in Hong Kong, which I love the dialogue, by the way, when he shows him that picture. Yeah, that's got to be him. It's obviously him. It looks exactly like Chad. Come on, that's got to be him.
yeah, big Van Damme goose egg on his head, you know.
Yeah, of course. There's no shortage of showing off Jean Claude's physique in this movie, especially beginning with the tights and the close ass shots.
Yeah. And leg warmers. Did you notice he had leg warmers on?
Yeah, the leg warmers. God Almighty, real Chad.
Yeah.
But us men got something later on in the movie too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, let's just go ahead and talk about that for a second. Why is there a full on softcore porn scene in this movie? like I thought we were making fun of Samurai Cop. I thought Samurai Cop was bad. This was straight up a scene out of Cinemax.
Yeah. I'm not all that upset about it. I thought she acted very well in that scene.
Oh, I mean, she's a great actress. But no, it really wasn't. It wasn't. It was all right, but it was just. I was just like, why? Out of all the Jean Claude, out of all the action movies with nudity and sex, why is this one the most like a Cinemax movie?
Yeah. I like all the color choices. You could tell the director was going for his artsy fartsy shot right there.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
Pink and blues and vibrant and yeah.
Especially the pink.
Yeah, a lot of pink.
What were we talking about?
The lighting. The lighting. Yeah, anyway, they meet Alex's hot girlfriend who mistakes Chad for Alex just in preppier clothes, starts fondling him, and Alex walks in, headbutts him. I don't even know what else to say as far as plot goes. I mean, they just basically make these bad guys' lives a living hell for a little bit until the end, and they kill them. Yeah. And you know, at the end, it really, I think instead of doing the heir plot, I think just the total revenge plot would have been way better to stick to, which is what Chad was kind of going for, but no one cares about the heir thing, man. I don't know what you're getting out of this, but just kill him as revenge. I think they should have just leaned more on that.
Yeah. And that's where this movie really shines is the action. You know, nobody watches Van Damme for the acting, although he does have a few, you know, pretty good acting performances throughout his career. But the action scenes, the set pieces in here, the scene at the docks there at the end, you know, with Bolo Young and all those guys where they're throwing barrels at each other, and there's forklifts pushing with big containers pushing people off, and guys falling from cranes. I thought that big finale I thought that was great.
Yeah, I did too. How about the scene where they mistake Chad for Alex, kidnap him, and take him to the docks, and he ends up squaring off with all the henchmen and Bolo Young.
Yeah.
Well, he kicks the henchman's ass, and then Bolo's like, "I got this," and he is one of the best bad guys I think I've ever seen. He's a kick-ass bad guy. He is scary. Just a jacked up dude. Obviously, Bolo Young, for those who may not know, is from Bloodsport. So he tries to roundhouse kick him, and Bolo just kind of does this quick, just like duck, and then just palm strikes him this way, right in the nuts. I mean, even I was like, ah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really good stunts. There was a lot of good hits in this.
Yeah.
Movie. A few of them made me go, wow, that looked like it hurt. They did a good job in that.
Yeah, I like it. I like the assault on their compound, you know, when they find that abandoned resort or hotel or whatever, and they hole up there. And then Chad stupidly drives that boat, and they got a helicopter, and they trace them back to that island and go in and just tear that place up. I thought that was a great scene, too.
It was, too. And, yeah, how about Chad always messing things up? Just trying to save the girl or something. Always just doing something. Yeah, he's like, don't fuck it up when he was they were at the compound in like about the middle of the movie. And what does he do? He gets restless and takes off, gets caught, and then ends up in a gunfight.
Yeah.
Now they make it out and blow it up, but then of course, he's like, you fucked it up.
Yeah.
It always seems to work out for him. The music was okay, I thought.
Yeah,
very early 90s.
I actually thought it reminded me a lot of Predator, and so I went and saw who did it, and it wasn't the guy who did Predator, but there's a lot of like musical cues that sound a lot like the music in Predator.
Yeah.
So I actually did enjoy it quite a bit.
Arthur Kemple was the music. Yeah, so action's solid, the fighting's solid, music's okay. The plot is weak at best, but if you go with the revenge thing, it's not that bad. Cinematography, I thought more often than not was okay. I thought some of the editing and the cuts were a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Especially when you got into the softcore porn scene and they kept cutting back to Alex being drunk and being mad.
Yeah.
Like you don't even know what's happening. And it was a dream anyway. It was all like a daydream.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I do like the fight at the end, where they're both squaring off with guys. And there's some really good contrast to shadows there, where he's fighting Bolo Young. And I think maybe, who was Alex fighting? But they were disappearing into shadows and out of shadows. And I thought that was pretty good editing choice there.
He was fighting the business partner, wasn't he? The main guy, or was it the other guy?
Yeah. The guy Inspector Chan, who was also in Bloodsport. There was a ton of Bloodsport people in here. I believe that sumo guy was in one of those scenes. Some of these henchmen, kind of the cannon fodder in this movie. I'm sure they were probably some of those guys fighting in that Kumite in Bloodsport.
Probably so. I think, all in all, it really wasn't. We gave the plot a hard time. All in all, it really wasn't that hard to follow most of the movie and what was going on. It was just that it just never made much sense as to why they really needed this tunnel. Yeah. And why Frank thought it was so important, because they never showed anything at the beginning of the movie as to why this tunnel was so important, other than just being owned by the boys. I don't know. I don't really, like I said, they could have had something there, I thought, unless I missed it. Yeah. They could have had something there to show the importance of this tunnel and what they were heirs to. I think they should have just leaned more heavily into that revenge plot for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it would have probably been a little bit more interesting had they ran onto each other in different circumstances, other than Frank just saying, "Hey, you guys, this is who you are. You need to work together."
Yeah.
So I don't know, but other than that, it was an all around fun movie. What would you rate this?
Would you go 3? Would you go 2 3/4? I think the action saves it. I think some of the cinematography it saves it. Man, talking about action, we didn't even talk about the squibs. They're in the beginning whenever his parents get shot. Yeah. Those are some great squibs in that scene.
They use squibs like crazy in this movie, and they look amazing, especially that opening shootout scene.
I know this is held really high in Van Damme circles by a lot of people, just not as high by me. It's in my back half of my top 10.
Yeah, I'd probably have to put it in my top 5 now. I liked it a lot. It was, the thing is even though I shit on the story, the overall action of the movie is great. I like that, and I do like the concept of actually having twins. For 1991, there were some scenes where they put them next to each other, and you could see the outline where they cut them out and try to like place them in the shot, and it just wasn't there yet, but it was still good. I like that concept of having 2 Van Dammes in the movie, kind of like Jet Li in the one. I like that.
There were some other things that just time makes it stand out. That scene where Alex is hanging from that platform, and it's all rear screen projected beneath him. That looked kind of silly.
Yeah.
But this was the first of 4 times that Van Damme would play twins. You're talking about this and Replicant. He plays twins in The Order. What's the other one? I know there's another one, but it's eluding me right now. But like 4 different times he's played twins.
Yeah.
If it
This one-
works.
I mean, it worked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it did pretty good, and I thought he did a good job distinguishing the characters enough too between Chad and Alex. You know, not just slick back hair, but he actually had full on different personalities, and I thought he portrayed them pretty well.
So what are you thinking of rating this one?
I'll probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, I'll go 3 out of 5.
I go 3 out of 5.
I think 2 3/4 is a little low. But...
Yeah, probably so. I think there's just a couple things that bog it down, but overall, it probably still is in my top 5 or 6 Van Damme movies for sure. Just overall fun. I'd watch it. I'd watch it again in a heartbeat for sure. Is overall fun. Anything else you want to say?
No, it's definitely one. I mean, you do your Van Damme marathon, be sure and watch it. It's definitely worth a watch
for sure.
Even if it's a little light on plot, but you know, you can't have it all with movies like this.
And I know this is kind of a bare bones review, but I do highly recommend this movie. It's on Tubi right now. I believe I watched it on Tubi. I would check it out there. So, what else we got coming down the pike? We got Cobra, right? We're going to do Cobra.
Yeah, we're going to do Cobra, and we've talked about for our next verses maybe doing a little bit of horror. Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yes,
so the original against the 2006 remake, which is held pretty high regard. So
yeah, that'd be good. We'll do that.
That'd be a really good versus.
We'll get back into horror for a little bit. That'll be fun. Okay, so that'll wrap it up for us, guys. Go watch Double Impact if you have not seen it. It's on Tubi. It's one of those that kind of get lost in the shuffle. I think you talk about Death Warrant, you talk about Universal Soldier, Time Cop, Bloodsport, Kickboxer. You talk about all these, and you know, Double Impact's probably a little bit lower on the list for most people. Maybe you haven't even heard of it or seen it, but I definitely recommend checking it out. It's at least fun to watch, and there's a lot of good action. Yeah. So until next time, we will see you. We're out of here.